Hello everyone, welcome back. So today is day 3 in our Linux troubleshooting series, right? So today in this video, we will gonna discuss the PCP. PCP is a performance co-pilot, right? Which is a very powerful and flexible framework for the monitoring and analyzing the Linux system performance. And you can do in real time as well as the historically, like the archive data as well. You can check at what specific time, what was happening with that system, right? Maybe the process, memory, CPU, network. There are a hell lot of uh, m- metrics available in the PCP, right? So we'll see one by one, right? So far you have used the top, htop, iostat, mpstat, right? So PCP will just advanced version of all those command, right? Like it will give you a very deep and scalable output, right? So it is a toolkit that collects logs and analyze system metrics from your local machine, or maybe you can say that you can collect for even for the remote host as well, right? Where you can just see real-time monitoring that the logs. You can create the dashboard as well, right? That is also a kind of advanced version of PCP we can do, right? So first of all, to use the PCP, right? So we need to package PCP and the PCP system tools, right? Because PCP is the main daemon for this performance copilot, and PCP system tools will come from many other sub binaries, right? Like PCP ATOP we have seen in our last video, right? So all these kind of stuff we can check with the PCP, right? So let's list. So you can see that I have already installed these packages PCP and PCP system tool, right? So, and apart from that, we have need PMCD daemon and PMCD PM logger, right? So you can see that I have both service running. It is simple, guys. You just need to install and start these services, right? We have talked about already this in our first video, right? If you haven't seen, then I would strongly recommend go and check that day one video, right? So now if you see that, right, like if you run the PCP, right, so what it is saying is, okay, PCP is a performance co-pilot on this node, right? This is the node name, these are the platform, this is the hardware disk detail, RAM, CPU and everything. There's a time zone which I am in now, services, PMCD, right? And apart from that, you can see that we have something called PM logger, right? So PM logger is primary logger, right? That where log PCP is this. So it is creating a file right under this. If you see, we have a lot of files, right? So what it is doing is it is creating this file on daily basis, right? So here you can see that it was created for yesterday, right? You can see that this is the time and this is the date, 27 is the month and 2025 is the year, right? So that way you can check out the logs for each and every day, right? But before we do that, right, so once you have this PCP and the PCMCD daemon and PM logger services running, right, so there is a command called PM info hyphen T, right? So here you can see that we have lot of metrics, right, which we have seen already, right? It is plus 25 plus 2500 plus matrix which is already there, right? But if we see few of them, right, let's see. If I just want to see let's say kernel load, right? Or load something like that. So here you can see, right? We have these metrics available, which is just seeing that your kernel load in every 1 minute, 5 minute, and 15 minutes, right? Like if you just want to see, so for that I have mentioned that we have command PM well, right? So PM info just to list out, right? You can do without T as well, but without T, what will gonna happen is like it will not give you this kind of description, right? Let's see if I'm running it without hyphen T, right? So you can see it is just giving me, okay, I have this metrics available and I am watching this, right? But similarly, if you do it with the hyphen T, right? So obviously it will give you a little one-liner description about that, right? Apart from that, you can do one thing, you can just simply pass the D as well, right? And with that, if you pass the metrics, so it will give you a little bit more details, like it is the metrics which is giving this, right? Data type is in float, and these are some units like how you can measure and everything, right? And semantics instant means like the instantly it is giving you data. If you replace the small t with the capital T, then it will give you one liner as well, right? Help like what all you can do. So these are some basics flags which we have the VMwell, right? But how to check the value, right? So for that we have something called PMWell, right? And if you hit enter, right? So what it will gonna do, it will gonna print that data in the live, right? It is in every second it is gonna print, right? So that is way that you can do it, right? In every second you can do, right? If you want that, okay, I just want, because this is a forever command, right? Like if I don't cancel it, right? So it will keep on running, right? But I want that, okay, let's say I just want that last five samples, right? So what you can do is with the PM val there is a command called hyphen D. You can set the this one that iteration, right? So I just want that, okay, for the last 5 seconds give me the data. So here you can see that interval is has been set as a 1 second, and it is giving me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 samples of that particular matrix, right? That way you can do it, right? And let's say if you don't want to print it in every second, you want to print it in, let's say in let's say 2 second or maybe 5 seconds, right? So how what you can do, hyphen small t, right? Capital T is just to set the iteration interval, and small t is just to set the time interval, right? Let's say if I'm doing for 2 seconds, so what it will happen? Can you see? It is just waiting for 1 second and then it is printing that data, right? That's what that you can set the interval. Let's say instead of 2 seconds, right? It will keep on printing, right? Because we haven't set any iteration limit here, right? Let's say if I am gonna say print 5 seconds, right? So first it will print the end and then it will wait for 5 seconds and then it will print the next iteration, right? So that way you can play around all these stuff, right? There are other thing as well, but before I go into more detail to the archive, let's look at the other thing, right? Let's say if you have that PM info hyphen T, and if I grep for, let's say, CPU, okay, so you can see only related to CPU we have lot of metrics, right? And each matrix will have their description, like what exactly that particular matrix is doing, right? Let's say if I just want to see the ideal value, right? So again PM well, and I would say hyphen T equal to 2 sec, and then I just give it, right? So what it will do, it will just give me the value in every 2 seconds, right? This is the completely idle. And if you see the weight, right, like you just need to see what that particular matrix is doing, right? You just need to find out that, okay, if I'm just seeing the nice value percentage of nice user time across all CPU including guest nice CPU time, right? So we have discussed all these, what is nice CPU and system interruption, software interruption in the day 2 video, right, where we have seen the CPU troubleshooting. Apart from that, you can see that we have something called kernel all CPU, total user CPU time from proc stat, right? For all CPU, including guest. This is again the system. This is again for the ideal. This is for the interruption CPU time. This is for the stealing CPU time, right? This is for the weight total. So you can just go and you can just explore all these stuff, right? Like what is the CPU wait time? There is nothing, right? No, nothing is running as of now. Let's say if I just put some load here, right? And now if I am just saying that, okay, user, right? And if you see now you have some values, right? You can see that, right? CPU utilization, this is the user utilization, right? Earlier it was 0, right? So that way you can grab it and you can just hit, right? So this is the kernel CPU list. Let's say if you want to see for memory, right? So maybe for memory we have something, not something, it is many thing, right? So yeah, same thing, memory NUMA utilization per node total memory. If you are using some kind of a hypervisor, right? Then it will be helpful because see, every metrics will not be something that you will be supporting your kernel, right? It depends on your distro, right? Maybe some is valid for the physical, maybe some is valid for the virtual. So like that we can see, right? If you want to see that memory, total system memory metrics reported by proc mem info, right? So if I just say pmval and if I hit this, right? So maybe it will give you that in KB byte, right? If I just say free hyphen m. So maybe let's say K, right? So here you can see that is the physical memory is this one, right? You can see that it is the same value, right? Instead of physical memory, if you want to see, let's say that how much is used, right? So for that we have this used memory utilization loose, right? PM well, this one. So you can see, right? And if I run this again, so here you can see used is this one, right? Let's say if I just add this value to the buffer and cache, so probably we'll get the same, right? 10252, almost same, right? Because it is keep on changing. So that's way that you can just hit on all these metrics and you can do. I think we have for network as well. If you just say network, right? So network also, like we have seen that we have kind of established connection or maybe port forwarding, like this kind of stuff if you want to check, right? So that you can see, right? Let's say if you want to see the network TCP connection, where is TCP? Let's say IP forwarding, right? Network count of IP forwarding. If you're doing some kind of IP forwarding, right, then probably you can just have a look on these metrics, right? So as of now we are not doing anything, so it will not show, right? We have something called let's say if someone is saying that we are getting very low speed in terms of network, right? So we have something called network interface speed, right? So you can grab this and you can explore. So here you can see that, right? I have the three interface and you can see that this is the speed megabyte per second, right? It is almost same. So that way you can explore more on this to each and every matrix, right? But as you have seen in the beginning, we have something called PM logger, right? So PM logger will gonna give you all these historical data, right? So let's say if you want to see from this historical data, right? These are the live monitoring, right? But as I mentioned, PCP is something that which you can monitor real time as well as the logs, like the historic and the archive data as well, which was what was happening yesterday, right? So you can see that today is this time, maybe because this machine is not continuously running, so probably we'll have this, we can see this 18 as well, right? We can have this 19, I think it was not working, but you can explore that particular data, right? And how you can do? You can do with the same thing. Let's say PM well hyphen T, right? So here I am just putting the hyphen T. What it will do? It will give me the iteration in every 1 minute in the last 500 seconds. Remember, this is the time interval and this is the iteration interval, right? And what I will do is I will pass the archive file, which is this one. Let's take it from today, right? And if I hit this, so there is something wrong with the command hyphen T, 1 minute hyphen T, this and this. Yeah, obviously, right? Because we have forgot like what we need to check, right? So we need to check, let's say kernel, or maybe let's say the memory, right? What we have just seen, the network interface speed, right? So you can just put that metrics, right? Here you can see that on Sunday, 20th July, at this time till this time, because you can see the start time and the end time, right? And this was the speed, and you can see that it is coming in every 1 minute, right? 12:0, 12:01, 12:02, like that, right? And we are getting in the last 500 second, means it is just giving in last 7-8 minutes, right? If you like convert in this minute, so it will around 7-8 minutes, like that, right? So that way you can see. Let's say if I just want to, we can filter more here, right? Let's say I don't want to be, let's say I want to start time, right? And it will be in this format, right? Let's say I want to say the start time is this one, right? And the end time you can specify with the, again the capital T. And I think we forgot at the rate. again at the rate, and you can just say this one, right? But instead of this, what I will do is I will say 5, right? And I will hit enter. And again, this time, let's say I will want to check the kernel load, right? So kernel dot all dot load. Hmm, what is wrong now? Kernel dot all dot load, right? LOAD. That was typo. No, still something wrong. So we are saying, okay, yeah, this is the problem, right? Because we are putting a unnecessary one flag because we need to put this matrix at the end of this command, right? Now you can see I'm saying start the data at around this one, right? 11:59 and end at 12:05, right? So that way, right? Let's say if you had 24 hours data, right? And you just want to check the specific window, right? If user is reporting in morning 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., right? Only 1 hour I can see that load was high. You can just mention, okay, what was that load is high? Obviously, you can do this all data with the SAR utility as well, right? But with the SAR, you can do, right? You need to configure your systat and everything. But with PCP, right, there is a possibility like you can route this data to the central server as well, right? So you can do that particular stuff in there as well, right? So maybe I will create one more machine and where we'll just try to configure the syslog, right? Our syslog, like where we can just forward that data from one node to the another node in the another thing. And let's say how we can more do that particular stuff here. uh, what else we can discuss? Yeah, PCP is a very powerful tool, as I mentioned, right? Because you can do many things with this. You can monitor not only the Linux machine, right? The custom application, your container, your database, and everything. That also probably it is possible to monitor with the PCP, right? Because for that there is a different framework coming. I think PCP DA Docker or something, right? I need to check because I don't remember. But yeah, this is something that you need to do, right? So yeah, that is the PCP Performance Copilot. It is like having a superpower for system monitoring. You can go as deep as you want, right? For real-time stats to the historical data to analyze more, right? And that's it, guys, for today. Again, if you found this helpful, right, so give it a like and subscribe for more Linux and monitoring tutorials, right? If you have any question, then drop your question in the comment. I will try to uh, answer all those, right? And maybe in next video we will see that how we can discuss maybe system D service related problem or maybe the Linux boot related problem, right? Because we have many things to discuss in this troubleshooting series, right? So that's it for the day, guys. I will meet you in next. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Thank you.